Why do you support Trump?
Pretty much only because of his efforts to protect Jewish Americans and then also the state of Israel.
Okay. So you're just going to support him no matter what, essentially?
Well, I
Just
mean, the
because
big
he
thing for me
prioritizes that particular interest? So it sounds like you're Israel
being a
first, not
Jewish
America
American, I
first.
just feel like safest under him as rule compared to anyone else.
How does doing whatever the state of Israel is wanting you to do going to be the safest for Jewish Americans?
Well, let me just start by asking, are you for a free Palestine?
Yes.
Okay, so when you say that, what do you mean?
I think that Palestinians should have equal rights as every other
What does
human
that
being on the
mean?
planet.
What when you say free, like freedom of what?
And they should, yeah, from oppression,
Uh,
occupation,
okay,
apartheid.
of occupation of Hamas?
No, specifically of the state
Oh
of
no,
Israel.
okay. So you think that it's okay that
I don't
Hamas
support
is
Hamas.
you
No,
don't. So
I
you
don't.
also want a freedom of
I was
Hamas.
just like the statement that we're making there is specifically from the state of Israel's occupation.
Okay, so but you also want the freedom from Hamas, if I'm being correct.
Well, obviously, I don't support any oppressive regime.
Well, you realize that a big democratic belief is free Palestine from the river to the sea, which means you basically don't support the state of Israel. Are you of that belief?
A free Palestine doesn't mean that there isn't going to be a state in which Israelis will still be able to live. But yeah,
No,
a
some people
ethno-supremacist
believe from
state,
the river to the sea.
an ethno-supremacist state should not exist, right? There should be a state with equal rights.
Okay, but do you realize that some people have the belief of from the river to the sea?
Well, it depends on what that means, right? That means
When
just
you say
that
from the river
Palestine
to
should
the
be
sea,
free.
you mean that that Israel shouldn't exist. That's what that means.
Well, it depends on the person,
Yes,
right?
that
Because
there's no,
the
I
statement
guess
as a
maybe you
whole,
can,
no, the statement as a whole just means that Palestinians will be free, not that the state of Israel won't exist at all, right? Someone could say that and still believe in a two-state solution, right?
yeah, but when you say
Do you,
from
do
the
you
river to
agree
the
someone could,
sea,
do you agree that someone could say that and still believe in a two-state solution?
well, when you're saying
You're
Palestine
not
should be
answering
free
the
from the river,
question.
a two-state solution, I mean, but like then you're just getting into what is to the river to the like the entire point of the river and the sea is that's where Israel
Is that
sits.
Palestinians
So
are
that
free, not that so that Palestinians are under occupation, aren't treated without equal rights and equal determination under the law,
okay, but
right?
if I'm not wrong, Palestinians they have Gaza, right? That's like their land, and that's what's being fought over,
Do you not
right?
think that there are illegal settlements in the West Bank? Do you not think there's encroachment into Gaza? Do you not think that they completely eviscerated or a majority of the civilian infrastructure within Gaza, ethnically cleansed them from the area, and they're especially setting up zones to then restrict Gazans from going back into the area in which was exploded? So, I mean, I just don't think that you're not even acknowledging any of those things.
No, I'm just saying that there are certain people, especially on the
And also,
left,
wait,
that
can you name one American policy that supports America that you support Donald Trump?
well, there's a couple things he did to help Jewish Americans in particular. So the first one, he passed an executive order, like I think in his this term and also in his first term, that broadened the definition of anti-Semitism and did a lot of the things that certain politicians like
Do
Mamdani
you think
aren't
being
doing.
anti-Israel is anti-Semitic?
It depends in what context. If you don't think Israel should exist, like Mamdani has said before, how he
The
doesn't
broadening of the
support the
wait, let me just clarify.
existence of a state of Israel, then that would be anti-Semitic. Yes.
Wait. Zoran Mamdani said that a state of Israel should exist with equal rights, meaning there's not a Jewish ethno-supremacist state.
No, he never recognized that the state of Israel even like
Yeah,
existed.
he said Israel should exist with equal rights. That's what he said. I know exactly
Can
what he
you
said.
pull that up where he said that? Because
I don't need to pull it up because one, it's not relevant to the stream. We're not talking about Zoran, right? You brought this
well,
up as
that's
a
just
pivot,
someone on the left
but I
who
can tell you
is,
as a fact that that exists, and I'd be willing to bet you on it.
and then he also didn't recognize
Also, I'm
Remembrance
waiting.
Day.
I'm waiting. So the definition you said that they broadened, right, just includes anything that is anti-Israel to be anti-Semitic. So do you think being
I don't know
anti-Zionist
exactly
is
what. I just know
anti-Semitic?
that he did broaden the definition to
Do you think I'm anti-Semitic?
why. You'd have to give me. I can't just say that
I'm
without
asking you, do
anything.
you think I'm anti-Semitic?
Well, I don't know. I don't know anything that you believe in yet. So how would I
Based
ever be
upon
able
what you
to?
know about me so far, do you think I'm anti-Semitic?
Just that you're on the left?
No, everything that you know about me so far.
I don't know much.
I don't. It depends. Based upon what you know. You can obviously
But I don't
change
know
that
much,
based
so I
upon.
can't just say you're anti-Semitic. That's not right. That's not right.
Okay, so you don't have a determination that I am. Okay, let me ask you this question. If I were to tell you that I'm anti-Zionist, or would you then say that I'm anti-Semitic?
Okay, but when you say anti-Zionist, what do you mean?
I'm against like ethnostates, all ethnostates.
Okay, so you're against the state of Israel.
Existing as an ethnostate, yes.
Okay, so you don't believe in the self-determination for Jewish people.
As an ethnostate, right? I believe that
Yes, but
I
that's the
believe Jewish
because you
people
realize
have
that
the right
Israel's
to
the only
exist.
place where.
I believe Jewish people
No,
have
I
the right to
understand.
exist, right? Like every other person. but you
But
do not have
Israel's
the
the
right to
only
create an
place where
ethno-state.
Jews are in a majority, so that means that their
Wait, do
self-determination
you,
is gone.
okay, wait, I have a question. Do you think that white people deserve an ethno-state?
No, but there's other lands
Do you
that
think it
white
would
people
be
have a
justified
majority
for
in.
white people to create an
That's the big
ethno-state?
point. Do you think every group
Answer the question. Do you think
deserves
it
a
would be
place?
justified for white people to create an ethno-state?
No, that's not relevant though. I'm saying that
Now none
listen to
of
me.
these
Listen,
questions are
no,
relevant.
listen to me.
Sir, I
Listen
think
to
that
me.
your hyper obsession with defending a foreign country's interests over this
I didn't
country as
even
a
talk
whole,
about the foreign
right, in of
country. I'm talking
itself.
about Jewish Americans.
Yes, no, you're
What?
specifically talking about that because you're saying that anything that is against the state of Israel is going to be anti-Semitic, which is
No,
the
that's
definition
not
that you're
true. I
applying
don't
here within
know.
the
I
United
just
States.
said all I said is that not supporting the existence of the state of Israel. I think Israel does some
Yeah, if
messed
you
up
don't
stuff. Of
support
course,
the
I don't
existence of
support
an
everything they
ethno-state,
do. I don't support
that's not
Netanyahu
anti-Semitic.
entirely. What is?
It's not anti-Semitic to disagree with an ethno-state existing.
Yeah, I agree that you can disagree with what they're
Like, do
doing
you
and
know
that
what
they're
you're saying
handling.
right now?
No. You have to listen to me. Every group, I think, in my opinion, you can correct me if I'm wrong, deserves a place where they are in a majority. Do you agree
Every
with that?
group deserves an ethno-state. Is that what you just said?
No, I'm not talking about
So,
ethnostates.
okay,
I'm
so you
talking.
deserve a
What's the
place that you
definition
can
of
live. You
ethnostate?
can have a place where you can live without having an
Where you're a
ethno-state.
majority. Where you're a majority.
That's an
That's the big
ethno-state.
thing.
If you're
Okay,
saying
so
that
don't you
you're
think every
maintaining
group
an ethnic
deserves a place
majority,
where
that's
they're
an
a majority?
ethno-state.
Yes, I think most groups deserve that, or every group.
Okay, so do you think white people deserve to be able to create an ethno-state?
There's plenty of places where white people are in a majority. So if you
And
can,
do you think it's justified if they were to try to maintain that,
the
right?
reason
The
they
use of
created the
legal action.
ethnostate, Israel, is because of it's different circumstances. White people have not had that level of discrimination ever.
Wait, are you saying the only
So
way to prevent is if you establish a Jewish ethno-state?
it helped protect Jewish people, sure.
Wait, you can understand that Jewish people can have protection without there being an ethno-state. Do you think that Jewish
Yeah, but it's
people...
easier if there's an ethno-state to protect Jewish people than
I mean,
in the
that's insane.
1940s.
Okay, that's
That's not
like
insane.
that's like
What?
saying white people specifically
That's like saying
need
people
an
are
ethno-state
safe.
in order to be able to stay safe. That's like a ridiculous claim, right? Do you
No,
think that
but you're
Jewish
just using
Americans are
white
safe
people.
in
But
this?
white people,
Do you think Jewish
white people are a
Americans are safe in the
minority.
U.S.?
What are you talking about?
Do you think Jewish
What
Americans are safe in the U.S. under Trump?
under Trump? They're safer than they would be under Kamala or Biden. That's for sure.
Are you safe in like generally?
What do you mean by safe? Like, it depend. Like, I live in a safe neighborhood, so I feel safe. But like, maybe if I
Okay.
was in an anti-Semitic college campus or something like that, then I wouldn't feel safe.
Anti-Semitic college campus. What college
What's
campus
so
are you
funny?
referencing?
I don't know. Look in the news in 2023, 2024. There was plenty of anti-Semitism. Do you deny that?
Can you name one
happening or
college
what?
that you're referencing?
I'm pretty sure in Columbia University there was examples
Columbia
of
University. So you felt like if you would
students.
go to Columbia University that you'd get attacked just for going there?
I say in 2023 or 2024. Before, let me explain this. Before, do you agree with that there were like a bunch of issues happening?
Wait, anti-Semitism exists, and there are anti-Semitic attacks that exist. But to act like you aren't like generally
Yes.
safe in the country is obviously an absurd thing to say. So the point that I'm making is that we don't exist in a
No,
Jewish
we're more.
ethno-state. Listen, we don't exist in.
Anti-Semitism is
We
real.
don't
You're just
exist.
denying
Please be
it.
quiet and listen to me for a second. We don't exist in a current Jewish ethno-state, yet you feel safe. So you
No,
can be safe
who
without
said
a
I
Jewish
feel
ethno-state.
safe? Who said I
Thank
feel
you for the
safe?
concession.
Who said I feel safe? Whoever said that? You
You just
just
said
put
that.
words
You
in
just
my
said I
mouth.
generally
No,
feel safe.
no, I said it depends where you are. Obviously, I'm in a safe neighborhood where there aren't, there's not like discrimination against anyone. I could say, do
So you're
black
saying
people feel
Jewish
safe in
people can
America?
find safe
Oh, in
neighborhoods
my
to live
neighborhood,
in without having an ethno-state? Is
sure,
that
if
your
they're very
argument?
wealthy, but not everyone has that
Okay, so now
like
it's
ability.
specifically if you're wealthy. Okay, so you don't think that
You just
Jewish...
put words in my mouth and said that I feel safe. I still can't get over that.
Okay, so
Jewish people, anti-Semitism is a huge issue in America nowadays. It's a huge issue. I think you're kind of like joking about it because you think it's like funny or
okay.
something.
I
But
don't think
a
it's
lot of
I
Jewish
don't think
people
it's
don't feel
funny to
safe. They don't
joke
feel
about
like they
violence. You're being
can.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you think it's safer
No, you're
in
being
Do you think it's
ridiculous.
safer for Jewish people in Israel or in America?
I mean, I'd have to look at the statistics, but I don't know. Like, I can't like make a claim like that. I'd have to look at statistics. I think like you making something like that based off vibes purely is not smart. But I think that creating a state of just like who primarily intended for Jewish people is a positive thing for sure.
I don't
Can't say
think
that's
so.
like
I disagree
how is
with
that not
ethno-states
positive for the
across the
safety of
board.
Jewish people? That has to be
You
positive.
couldn't even provide the evidence. You never even gave an evidence
Yeah,
to
I'd have to
indicate that
do
Jewish
research.
Americans are safer in
I'd have to
Israel
do
than they are
research. But
anywhere
you're
else around the
against. You're
world.
against. If I'm not mistaken, you're against just the entire existence of Israel,
Of
which
any
is just
ethno-state.
anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
That's
call me
anti-Semitic.
anti-Semitic
That's
because I disagree with
anti-Semitic.
ethno-states. Yeah,
I
you're
do.
really gonna win that argument. Yeah, everyone.
No,
Yeah,
but
yeah, you're anti-Semitic because you disagree with the existence of an ethno-state. Oh my God, Parker, you're so
no, but
anti-Semitic. Yeah, run on that. I dare you. That's
no, I'm not
embarrassing. No
running.
person will
Running.
take you seriously. Do you realize how insane that is to say that Parker get a job as anti-Semitic because he disagrees with the existence of a ethno-state?
No, but
Get your head out of your ass.
that's
What the are you talking about? Genuinely, that's the most insane, batshit
crashing
crazy
out.
position
Crashing
ever.
out. You're
Wait,
crashing
dude,
out.
no, you think it's crashing out for me to say that
You're
your
crashing out.
position is
You gonna kick
insane?
me or what?
No, I'm
What?
not going to kick you. I'm just saying your position's insane.
I don't think it is because no, but is for Jewish
You
people
just
it
called
was
me
different.
anti-Semitic because I said I disagree with ethno-states existing, and I'm laughing at that and making a joke out of it, and you're
I
saying I'm
think
crashing out. Like, that's hilarious.
no, but I
Are
think
you not crashing out for calling me anti-Semitic just for disagreeing with ethno-states existing?
campaigning for the just complete removal of the state of Israel is could be anti-Semitic.
Wait.
Obviously,
I think no ethno-state should exist. A state can exist without an ethno-state.
okay.
Do you think
Where do you
states
think
can exist without being ethno-states?
Do you realize that Jewish people have
Can
been
you
kicked
answer?
out of like
Can you answer any question? Do
what?
you think states can exist without being an ethno-state?
Like what do you mean states? Like
Do you
countries?
think a country can exist without being an ethno-state?
Obviously, what type of question
Okay,
is
so
that?
a country can exist without being an ethno-state. So are you saying
Yep.
the country of Israel can't exist without being an ethno-state? Are you saying the foundation of what it means to be the nation of Israel is fundamentally built on being
Well,
an ethno-state?
you can-
Fundamentally built on the suppression of Palestinians or of any other group from being within the country? Is that
No,
your
the
argument?
reason-
That the fundamental aspect of Israeli culture, of Israel as a nation, is that it fundamentally relies upon the suppressions of other peoples from being within this nation of
No,
Israel?
you can. I'm not super sure of the history on it, but if I'm not mistaken, it was created as an ethno state, right? It was created for Jewish people, right?
That doesn't mean it should. That doesn't mean
Okay,
the
but
actions
now-
that existed
now,
to
would
create it
you-
are justified.
they
Do you
still-
not think the
do they-
Nakba was a horrible thing? Do you not think the forceful
no. Let me
expulsion
finish, let me
of
finish.
Palestinians was a horrible thing? Do you not think it's bad for them to go in and steal land from innocent people?
You just nowadays does
Can you answer
Israel?
any of these questions?
Wait. What did you say?
You're
I was looking
literally
something
trying
up.
to distract away from any domestic policy to actually help out people here in this country by getting us to focus on foreign wars all around the world for a foreign country, and you can't even tell me whether or not you think it's wrong for the actions that they engage in to be able to create their state were wrong in the very first place? You can't even engage with that from a historical standpoint?
What did you ask?
You're not even paying attention.
I was looking something up because I was interested.
Yeah, do you believe that the Nakba was bad? The
I do
forceful
not know what that
expulsion
is.
of Palestinians.
No idea what that is.
The forceful
What is the
expulsion of
Nakba?
Palestinians, where they stole Palestinians' land.
In Israel?
You removed them from the area to establish a Jewish
When was this?
ethno-state.
When was this?
What do you mean? When was this? This was 19. This was after World War II, 1947, 1946.
I mean, it's tricky because like at the time, like just Jewish people were just in such like a tough place.
So it's
I
justified
don't-
to ethnically cleanse people because ethnic
I mean, did
cleansing happened to
did they
Jewish
kill
people?
people?
Do you realize you're just justifying? Do you realize
How many
that
people
you're
did they kill?
literally justifying the very actions that happened to Jewish people, right? You're
Yeah, but how many
justifying
people did
ethnic
they
cleansing
kill?
that happened to Jewish people within the 30s.
How
Within the
many
20s,
people did it
that happened.
kill?
Those are anti-Semitic actions that impacted Jewish people, and you're perpetuating the justification for those things that impacted Jewish people for generations. The forceful expulsion. Why are you justifying that? Do you realize
but
that then justifies the actions that happened to Jewish people?
Wait,
You're
so
not even
when
realizing that.
I get that Israel was in place of like Palestinian land, right? So what did they do to the Palestinians who were living there before?
Forcefully expelled them from the land.
Okay, did they kill
Violently.
them?
Through killing, through making the
How many
conditions so
people
much
did they kill?
worse by stealing their land.
How many people? Well, what would your solution be then for all these Jewish people that have literally no place to stay because they get kicked out of everywhere they
I mean,
live?
I believe that the
Ever.
U.S. should have accepted them in the first place. I
Okay,
don't
but
believe
they
that there
would have
should
never done
have
that. So
I don't think
so
that there
we
should have
can't-
had to have been an establishment. But the
We
point that I
can't
would make is
speak in
that
hypotheticals
you can,
because they didn't want to let the Jewish people in. So you had to put them somewhere, right? You can't just let them
wait, that
sit
doesn't
in
mean
Germany and
forcefully
die.
take people's land. So then
So
where are you
what
going to
does-
send
what does
all
it
the
mean
people that
then?
you're
Where do you wanna put
forcefully?
them?
Wait, so then where are you going to put all the people that you're forcefully
The
ripping out of the land?
neighboring countries that would accept those people. No one would accept.
Oh, now it's
Jewish
about
people.
now it's about the neighboring countries that will accept them. So why don't you say the same
But no
thing for
one
all
would
the
accept the
Wait,
Jews.
shut the f
No
up.
one would-
Why won't you say the same thing for that? Why don't you say the same thing for the Jewish refugees? Why don't you say, oh, it's just going to be whatever country accepts them? Why do you have to say that specifically they need to forcefully take land from other people to then put the problem onto other people? That makes no sense. Do you realize how insane that is?
Did you mute me?
Yes, I did mute you.
Okay,
Does that hurt
well,
your feelings?
I was talking. No, you didn't hear my
Cool.
feelings. I was talking. No, I was saying that the reason that the Palestinians could be relocated to nearby countries is because those are Muslim countries, and the Palestinians were mostly Muslim. They share a cultural similarity that would get the people to actually accept them. The Jewish people, no one wanted to accept them. Even America didn't want to accept them because everyone was anti-Semitic. Because no one freaking cared, bro.
So because,
Just like
because
you're
Jewish people
anti-Semitic.
weren't accepted into anywhere, which by the way, there were countries that did accept Jewish refugees to
Where
very
would
high
you put
extent.
them? I
Well,
don't
you're saying
know.
oh, it's then justified for them to go forcefully expel people from their their lands and steal their properties. What?
No, it's not
Are you fucking
justified,
insane?
obviously, but history is rough, and you had to put the Jews somewhere. So
History is
you might
rough,
as
does
well.
not justify ethnic cleansing, does not justify
But where
mass
would you
killing
put
of
the
people.
Jewish people then? I'm asking you a question. Where would you put them? Okay, and don't speak in
Without
hypotheticals.
stealing
Oh,
the land of
America.
people, you can
Yeah,
go into
where?
areas specifically where there
Where?
are not.
Where?
Wait, hold up,
I
listen.
don't think you could do that.
When you say, "Oh, I don't think you can do that," well, then figure it out yourself, right? You have to do that
Oh,
yourself.
so
You can't
you're
forcefully shut up. Listen. You cannot say it's justified to forcefully steal other people's homes because you don't have a home yourself. Now, let me ask you this question, okay? Homeless people in this country, do you think they're justified in stealing your home?
no.
But they don't have a home. Where should they go?
But were they persecuted against and killed?
Yes,
and
they don't have the access to get access
genocided?
to housing.
They were genocided by 6 million.
So
of them
they
were
had to
genocided.
forcefully
Is that
leave
true?
a certain
It's
area
a
because
different
of something bad
scenario. It's a
happening.
different scenario. No one's killing homeless people willingly.
Wait,
All
so
right?
then
There's
wait,
no
I have a
Hitler
question.
that's killing
Would
homeless
Palestinians
people.
be justified in stealing their houses back from the Israelis, under your view?
Would you say that the Israeli
Are
quote-unquote
Palestinians
genocide?
justified in stealing the land back from the Israelis?
Sure, go ahead. Oh, but they're not, because it's a war, right? And they haven't done it so far.
Wait,
Well, why
you
aren't they
just
winning?
so you just
It's a war.
justified that you think it's justified for Palestinians
If they
to go
think
in
they
and steal
deserve
the
the
land
land,
back?
the land in Gaza, sure. But there's Hamas there.
Wait,
and
not just in
it's-
Gaza, but the rest of Israel.
Oh, back from the 1945
1947, yes.
or whatever. Sure, they can try. I mean, that would be.
Sure,
I don't
they
know
can
if
try.
that'd
So
be a
you
war
think that's
crime.
justified?
No, that would probably be a war crime, right? Isn't that legal? I don't.
Okay.
I don't know enough.
Oh,
about
now
that,
you
but-
are going to recognize war crimes. The ICC and the ICJ are recognizing that the Israeli government are committing war crimes in Gaza. You know that, right?
Yes,
Do you
I
agree
already
with
have
that?
told you before. No, no. Can I explain this to you? I don't agree entirely with what Israel is doing in Gaza. I think they're definitely executing it wrong. But I think calling for the entire, just like the destroyal of their state, is not what I agree with. All right, that's my position. So I can't really speak
put
on.
in the Constitution that
You
it's
can
a secular
definitely, in my
state.
opinion.
Wait, can't you put in the Constitution that it's a secular state with equal rights? And then can't you just like end the fucking
Okay, but
further
then you realize what would
going
happen
into
then is that
wait,
you
listen,
realize
listen,
how-
listen, listen. Can't you end the furtherance of Israel in terms of giving weapons to people to go into the West Bank to literally go continually steal land from Palestinians?
Do you acknowledge that the
The continual settlements?
most Muslim people, if they could choose to do so, they would
Wait,
abolish
answer
like
this
all
question.
Jews and kill them?
Can you address the question? Do you think that there should be a prevention of the continued settlements, forceful settlements of Israelis going in and stealing land from Palestinians in the West Bank?
Wait, can you repeat your question? Forceful.
Yeah, do you think there should be an end to all of the forceful creation of settlements from Israeli settlers that are being given arms by the Israeli government to go in to the West Bank and steal land from Palestinians?
Yes, I don't think they should be stealing land from Palestinians. Again, I've told you this. I criticize the Israeli government, but I don't think calling for an abolition of the Israeli state is smart. I don't think that's what should happen.
Do you think
because
there
you
should be a
realize that,
recognition of the state of Palestine?
sure, whatever. I don't.
What do you
yeah,
mean, sure, whatever? I'm asking you, what do you think?
It doesn't really affect me as a Jewish American, but sure, you can do
Wait,
it.
I'm asking you, what do you, no, you say it doesn't affect
Yes.
you. You brought this up as the reason why you support Trump.
if
If it doesn't
you-
affect you, why are you bringing it up?
No, I meant the state of Palestine doesn't affect me. That's what I'm saying. Like if the Palestine exists as the small little chunk it was, then that sure. But as long as we're not taking
So do
Israeli
you see how
land,
like
and-
he says it's small? Like you're such a disgusting fuck, right?
What do you
Actually,
mean?
like to
Is it
say,
not
the
small?
small little
What?
chunk that it is, after literally
It is a small
justifying
little
the
chunk.
justifying the
What?
country that literally went and stole the fucking land and made it small in the first place. Who made it
okay,
small?
yeah, but I do support
The
Israel
Israeli
for going
settlers
in there
that
in
violently stole the land.
1947.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, imagine saying that, right, about
What?
any other context. You're
Parker,
so
are you
disgusting
telling me
for
that Palestine isn't small? What?
Why was it made small?
Oh, so now you want me to deny?
Why was
you
it
want me
made
to, like,
small? Because of the state that
get-
you support, right?
yes, I get,
You were
but if you
defending
wanna
those
go back to
actions. I just had to tell you
1947
that these things happened. You didn't even know it. And then you
What?
justified it. And then, by the
No,
way,
I did know that happened, but I didn't know you wanted me to deny that or to, reject the idea that Israel was created in 1947. That's disgusting. They deserve a place at 1947 to go, and you still haven't given me an alternative of where
wait,
you
let
would
me
put all
answer the
these
question.
Jewish
So,
people.
so they deserve to go steal land from Palestinians violently. Is that your argument?
Okay, no, they deserved a place to go, and
Is
there
that,
were
is
no
that their right?
alternatives.
Is it their right to steal land from other people?
I don't know. No, it's no one's right to steal land from
Okay,
someone.
so then why
but,
are you
I mean,
making that argument?
Well, no, it was a specific circumstance that they had. All right, there was a 6 million.
That doesn't
people.
justify stealing
What do you
other
mean
people's
so?
land.
Oh my God, does a 6 million people and basically Hitler coming in and killing all my ancestors
Justify you
not
going in
justify
and
them
committing
getting a
those
little
crimes
land?
against another group of people? No. I think
you
that there
kidding
should-
me?
You know what it means? It means the world should have responded and created conditions to accept people, right?
I got it.
Specifically so that there isn't conditions like that that are going to
After
affect
6
people,
million
because that is a
deaths, they
genuine
deserve to
concern for the
move a
safety of
couple
people.
people
But what you
to neighboring
can't
lands.
you cannot then use the argument that there needs to be safety for certain people to then justify those people then committing acts of violence, stealing, and literally killing people at mass. Do you realize how insane that is? What is wrong with you? A couple people. What the is wrong with you, dude?
They're not letting me speak. Wait, what do you mean a couple people? What did I say? A couple people?
I mean, you were literally just speaking. I mean, if you don't know what you said, that's all on you.
I'm saying that you're saying that Israel should be a secular state, right?
Yes.
All
Every
right, so do
every
you
single country
acknowledge-
should be
I got it.
secular and should not be a theocracy.
I got it.
Every single
So-
country should have equal rights for everybody.
All right. Do you realize that Iran's anti-Semitic? Do you acknowledge that? Do you acknowledge that their leader denied the ever happening?
You mean the
Do you
Ayatollah?
acknowledge that happened?
Were you saying the Ayatollah that's dead now?
It just
Or are you
says
saying
on
the Ayatollah's
Google.
son. I'm just asking because I don't defend the IRGC.
Just
I think the
in
IRGC
general,
is horrible and disgusting.
I get it, but in general, the general sentiment in Iran is that most people will deny that the even happened. Pretty much all of them are
I mean, I would have to
anti-Semitic,
see a
right?
source for that.
All right.
I don't know why
No,
you're
I
making a
know.
claim about the general population now.
But I'm just saying, in general, if you make Israel a secular state, then guess who would come into that country? It would be all the neighboring Middle Eastern Muslims, pretty much. They would come into the country, right? And they would probably want to kill the Jews. That's just the way it would work, all right?
Okay,
Because they all hate
so
them.
you're making all of these assumptions that people are going to come in and want to kill people. If there's a secular state to prevent that from happening, there is still law enforcement that exists to prevent that. Right? There's a secular state. There's still going to be recognition for all of these things, especially from an international standpoint. And there's absolutely funding to be able to prevent these things from happening in the first place. Hell, Israel is the most funded foreign, in terms of foreign aid of any country in the world.
All right, I just looked up how many people died when Israel was created in 1947, and it says 20,000. So now I ask you a question.
And what are you searching that up on?
JewishVoiceForPeace.org. All right? Do you agree with that? Is that a valuable source or what?
I mean, I'm not
fine.
familiar specifically with that.
All right, yeah,
one,
well,
but
it's a source. So here's the question: would you, after the Holocaust, right, more than 6 million Jews died, I don't know the exact number, whatever, and they were looking for a place to go, and you still haven't given me an alternative of where they would go, but they're looking for a place.
But you don't have to. You have to understand that the same.
So would you
thing-
trade off
Hold
20,000
up.
deaths
So
for
wait, are
giving
you
those
saying
people
because
at
I
least
can't give you an explanation for what country specifically a certain person would go to that then justifies them going in stealing land from other people? That's what you have to justify. And if you don't think that's
It's
justified,
not a full
well, then
justification.
you
It'll
make
never
the
be.
argument.
Can you justify any war ever? I mean, not fully. War is gross, but it has to happen. There was no other
No, it
alternative. The
doesn't.
Jewish people would have just died.
Wait, you
I mean-
understand that you can prevent that from happening without going in and murdering other people and stealing their
There
land,
was no way to
displacing
prevent
over
it. You still haven't given me an
750,000 people.
alternative. You still
What's that?
haven't given me an alternative.
So, okay, just because I can't establish an alternative, which, by the way, I wouldn't be able to do for many historical events throughout history,
I got
because
it.
I would have to know the specific context of where people could go. I wouldn't know that specifically for Palestinians of where they could have gone after they were ethnically cleansed, right? So that's not an argument specifically to justify them stealing stuff from other people. I don't understand the point.
Because if you don't let the Jewish people create the state of Israel, then where would they go? And you still haven't given me an alternative. So then
You
my
keep repeating
argument
the
is that
same
the
argument.
20,000
I don't need
deaths,
to be able to
the
establish. I don't need to be able to.
should.
I don't have to provide it an
My
established.
argument is that the
There does
20,000
not have
deaths
to be an
that you're
ethno-state.
complaining
Wait,
about
what is
are
your
worth it.
argument? Wait, what is your argument for there needs to be an ethno-state for Jewish people to exist?
What? When did I ever make that argument? Wait, there needs to be an ethnos. So if Israel
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
exist,
saying the
Jewish
state of
people don't
Israel
exist?
has to exist as an ethno-state, and you have to go forcefully expel Palestinians and murder Palestinians
Well, when you say
in order,
ethno-state, you
in
mean
order
just
for
like
Jewish people to
non-secular,
exist.
right? Or
That was
secular.
your argument, right?
No. What? When was that ever my argument?
Okay, if that's not your argument, then why are you saying that the Nakba is justified? Why are you saying the creation of the state of Israel is justified?
Wait. Can you repeat that? Because it might have been my argument.
Yes, okay. You're saying the creation of the state of Israel is justified, correct? Right, which
Yes.
means the Nakba, the forceful expulsion of Palestinians. You're saying that it is justified, right, because you think that there is no security that can be established for Jewish people without doing so, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so then what is the argument that there cannot be safety or security for Jewish people if an ethno-state does not exist?
I already gave that argument because if it wasn't an ethno state, right? If it was just land, you acknowledged already, I'm pretty sure, that the neighboring nations are Muslim and they want the Jewish people dead. If they could choose, they would bomb Israel
I never even
first,
said
all
any
right?
of those things, by the
All
way.
right, I get it, but you will acknowledge that because that's true. You know that those neighboring nations, if they could choose, they would bomb Israel 50 times over, and they would make it a completely Muslim region or whatever. And that's what would happen, honestly, if it wasn't an ethno state. That's, in my opinion, what would happen. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows that would happen because these people are not friendly, all right? They're not like these like nice people that are like, oh, Israel and Jews, oh my God, they're so nice. No, these people are evil, a lot of them. And the people in power will want to bomb them and
You're
because
so
they hate
disgusting.
Jews.
You're
No,
just saying
you're
that everyone
disgusting.
there is evil. Like, how
No,
gross
the
do you have
people
to
in
be as a
power,
person
sure.
just to describe everyone there as evil? So why do you want to go there if you think everyone there is evil?
Who said I want to go there?
Why don't you go somewhere where you think everyone isn't evil? And wait, why didn't
Wait,
you
what?
go to America and then steal and kill Americans to take their land?
Because that wouldn't have been possible. We would have lost. Like what?
It wouldn't have been possible.
To go to America
So you
and
would think it's justified if it was possible.
well, I mean, that's kind of how the war
So
is
do you
never
think
like
it would
fully
have been
justified.
justified if it was possible?
Not fully, no. But I
So
mean,
no. Wait, why not?
but that's how war works.
Why not? You
now
just said it was necessary for Jewish safety. So why wouldn't you think it's justified if you do think it's justified to go do it in the state of Palestine? Why wouldn't it be justified to do that to America?
No. You're misunderstanding me. I said it wouldn't have happened. It's not possible, meaning like we wouldn't have won. Like that we would have just died.
Wait, no.
What?
So I'm giving you a scenario.
'Cause
If it is the
obviously the
case that
US
you would have
military
won,
is-
if it is the case that you would have won and you could have, for example, taken over Florida, do you think that would have been justified to do?
I mean, it would have been just like
Yeah.
Israel.
Yeah, so you would have you think it would have been justified for them
I
to
think
go
Jewish people
and,
deserve the place to go.
You
all
think it
right?
would have
So
been
it doesn't
justified for
matter
them to
where it
go
is.
and take over the state of Florida and murder people and expel them from Florida, forcefully expel them from Florida?
You're making it sound that would literally just be another war.
What do you mean I'm
and we would
making it
just
sound
lose.
worse than it is? That's exactly what happened.
Because guess what? That's a hypothetical, and you're just using the America.
Yeah,
but
I am.
that would never happen.
I am because
don't
I'm
like
trying to
speaking
show you how
hypothetical.
insane your worldview
No.
is that you would justify this type of action. Again, are you going to view Palestinians and Americans to be different insofar as you're going to think it's justified with Palestinians but not justified with Americans?
No, I'm just saying that they deserve a place to go, and you still aren't denying that fact.
Then would your argument be if it was possible to take over the state of Florida, expel all of the people from Florida, and have Jewish people take over that area as a Jewish ethno-state, do you think it would have been justified?
I mean, yeah, I think it would be fine. But like realistically, though, if people were, what's so funny?
Like, dude, you're gonna get clipped, bro. That's such a crazy take.
That's not a crazy take.
What do you mean it's not a crazy take? You think it would have been justified to take over the state of Florida? By the way, you're America first.
Agree?
By the way, this guy claims, are you America first?
What?
Are you America first?
You mean like I love America more than any other country?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So then why would you argue it's justified for people to go and take over Florida, forcefully expel Floridians from the area, and then create their own ethno-state in that area?
No, I have to interject. The forcefully expel part, how is that relevant?
Wait, that's what happened with Palestinians. In the
no,
Nakba, they
I know,
forcefully
because
expelled
you realize that
Palestinians from
they
the area.
didn't-
They murdered
you-
Palestinians.
So
You were
that's
saying it's
because they
justified. You
didn't want
literally
to
just
accept
argued that
them.
it was justified. So you're America first. You're arguing you think it would have been justified for them to do that to Florida if it was
No, but-
possible?
No. Listen to me. Stop.
You
It's
obviously
because-
don't think it sounds America first, do you?
No, it's because the reason that people died is because they didn't accept them. Don't you agree with that? They didn't accept them because they're Muslim, and they don't
my
want Jews there.
argument is people should have accepted them.
Okay, yes, that's my argument too. So we agree on that. But guess what? The people in Florida, if we're talking hypotheticals here,
Yeah,
probably
saying
would have
that people
accepted
should
them
accept
because
them is not
America
justification
is-
for them to then go and like murder people and establish an ethno-state and forcefully expel them from the area and take over
Okay,
their
but
houses.
my
So in the
argument is
same
that-
way that you wouldn't think it's justified with Florida, because I know that damn well you're not going to keep arguing that because you just got clipped in front of millions of people.
No,
'Cause that's
I
definitely
know.
going to be seen by
That's
millions.
Not funny. Not millions.
Yes, it will. I'm going to post that to Instagram and to YouTube.
No,
and that's
please
definitely going to be
don't.
seen by millions.
Oh shoot.
What do you mean, please don't? You're on a YouTube and TikTok stream right now. You're cooked, buddy.
Oh yeah.
You are Israel first. You're not America first. It's embarrassing that you
you
try
can
to
be
act like
both.
you're
You can-
America first while simultaneously saying it would have been justified for them to go take over Florida, forcefully expel Floridians from the state, and literally take over all of their houses and establish
not
an
like
ethno-state.
America
Like,
and
what are
Israel
you
at the same
talking
time?
about? That's not America first.
Can you not?
That's embarrassing that you think you're
can
America
you not
first.
like Israel and America at the same time? I'm confused.
You are Israel first, not America first. If you think it's
Who said that?
justified for
Whoever
them to
said
have
that?
literally taken over the state of Florida, you are Israel first, not America first.
You just used a hypothetical to quote unquote cook me, bro. We're not talking in these hypotheticals
Yeah, do you understand
that span 50
hypotheticals
years
can cook
ago.
you? You just got cooked.
Not really, because
Really?
it's not how it works.
What do you mean? Why not?
You just spoke in a hypothetical from like 60 years ago. Like, how is that getting cooked? Well, if you need to go back 60 years and do a hypothetical to cook me, sure, but you still
Because
haven't
you won't
answered
be able
my
to provide
question.
the relevant distinction between the two that justifies in one scenario, but it doesn't
I
justify
don't
it in
think
the other.
You didn't disagree with me when I said that Jews deserved a place to go, but instead of getting
That doesn't mean they
quote-unquote
deserve
cooked,
an ethno-state, or they deserve to murder Palestinians,
still
or they deserve
haven't-
to then ethnically cleanse Palestinians,
But
that they deserve
do
a
you
place
agree?
to live is not the same as they deserve to steal land from other people or murder other people at mass, right? Or establish an ethno-state. Do you understand that those things are fundamentally distinct?
But do you agree that if it wasn't an ethno state, they would be murdered?
What? I don't believe that. No, I actually. What's the evidence for that?
I mean, there's not obviously like a study or anything. It's just like an
Okay, so then why
idea
are you
that
making the claim?
the
You're
Muslim
saying it's
religion.
justified to commit these horrible, atrocious actions based upon a claim that you can't even justify, based upon a trust me, bro?
No, it's not a trust me, bro. It's just the idea of religion.
what-
It's just
I
the
just wanna
core
hear a
values of the
source.
Muslim
I want to
religion.
hear a source because you have like this is a fundamental claim that you have that justifies why we should focus all of our due diligence as a country here in America on a foreign country's goals and not our own.
Do you
Because you know
acknowledge
what?
that?
I haven't heard this whole time you're on the stream a single policy of Trump's you support that benefits America.
I told you that benefits Jewish Americans.
How?
What do you mean how?
Yeah, how
And
is
I can
doing
name
whatever
others.
the
When
Israeli
he-
government
when he
wants us to
froze-
do within Iran
Do you
beneficial
acknowledge
to
that there
Jewish
was-
Americans?
Do you acknowledge that there was the anti-Semitism on the college campuses in 2023, 2024? There were a lot of lots of violence against Jewish Americans.
Do you think that was a
acknowledge that, right?
result to the U.S.'s support for the state of Israel's
Do
government's
you
actions?
acknowledge that that was wrong? Do you acknowledge that that was wrong?
Of course, rises in anti-Semitism
course.
is wrong. But
Okay,
I'm
of
asking
course.
you're asking
So
what is the cause
Trump
of it?
froze the funding to some of those
You're
universities.
asking sir, you're asking what the cause is of this. What is the cause? And by the way, you say anti-Semitism, right? You're defining anything that is anti-Zionist as anti-Semitism. So what I
Well,
define
the
as
people would go
anti-Semitism
up
and what
with
you
free Palestine.
shut the
No,
fuck up.
me.
What I define as anti-Semitism and what you defined as anti-Semitism are radically different things. You think I'm anti-Semitic, okay? So let me just be very clear here. We fundamentally disagree on what we consider anti-Semitic here in the first place.
Yeah, and I don't
but
think
if
you'll be
there
able
is
to
something that
change
is
my mind.
actually anti-Semitic, yes, I think that's fucked up.
What do you mean
think
actually?
it's
What does that
anti-Semitic
mean?
to disagree with the existence of ethno-states? So go fuck
Of
yourself.
the state of Israel. No, the state of Israel is different than
which
any
is
typical
which is an
ethno state, bro.
ethno-state.
We have different.
Okay.
No, we have
Again,
different.
any state can exist, any country can exist with equal rights. They should not exist as ethno-states. And you're saying that's anti-Semitic, Parker, and I'm
We
saying
have
go
different
fuck yourself.
circumstances. Different circumstances. Do you not agree that there's different circumstances between the Jewish ethnicity and any other ethnicity? Do you agree with that?
What is the relevant difference?
What do you mean? What is the relevant difference? Of course, there's a relevant
Tell me
difference.
what's the relevant difference.
Well, the Jewish ethnicity, there was a against where there was more than 6 million
embarrassing, bro.
people. That's not embarrassing.
It
There's
is,
a
dude.
difference
It is.
between
Holy
our
shit,
ethnicity
dude.
and like the Greeks or something else, like any other
There's no
relevant ethnicity.
difference. There's no difference that justifies there being an ethno-state.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so you're saying if this existential threat didn't exist, if I could prove to you that that was the case, that this existential threat didn't exist, would you then say the state of Israel should not exist?
What exists? Oh, you're saying just anti-Semitism in the world?
Yeah. If that existential
Yeah,
threat did
if
not
you can
exist,
prove to me that
would you
anti-Semitism isn't a
then say- wait,
constant
hold up.
issue.
Yeah, if I could prove to you that there are places that Jewish Americans or Jewish people can exist around the world where they are not, where they are going to be subject to less violence than what you would
Okay,
see
but you
within the
can't prove
context
that
of the
to me.
state of
That's the
Israel,
thing.
would you then say the state of Israel existing is unjustified?
If you could prove to me
If I could
that there
prove
are
to you that
people,
there's less violence towards Jewish Americans than there are to Jewish people within Israel, based upon them being
No, that's
Jewish,
not even- it's
then
not
you
even
would
about
then say
violence.
it's
It's just
justified
anti-Semitism.
to say that the state of Israel shouldn't exist.
it's just anti-Semitism. It doesn't always have to be violence. It's just like feeling, just wrong to be practicing your faith or whatever. That's anti-Semitism. It doesn't just have to be violence. You're just using violence because maybe like the crime rates are lower in certain areas. It doesn't exactly mean anti-Semitism is lower. If you're surrounded by people that are just like yourself, you're gonna feel less left out and stuff like that.
Okay, so then here's the question: are there areas that you can exist within the United States that are safer for Jewish people than in Israel?
Sure.
Okay, so then that justifies that the state of Israel shouldn't exist. Under
Okay,
your view,
but
because you
there's-
said the only thing that would
No,
justify the state
because
of Israel
there's way too
existing.
many Jewish
Wait,
people.
hold up, let me please go through this.
There would be
You said the only
millions.
thing that- You said the only
You'd
thing
be
that
bringing millions of people in.
You said the only thing that justifies the state of Israel existing is that it's the safest place for Jewish people in the world.
No, oh my God, when did I say that?
Yeah,
I
because
said it
we
offers a
just-
safe place for Jewish people in the world, not the safest place for Jewish people in the world. What? It offers a safe place. You can't deny that. Is Israel safe for Jews? Like what? Of course.
So then you agree there are other
All
safe
Jews.
places, so it's not necessary to establish an ethno-state.
Okay, but what's the population in Israel? Let's see that. How many people have ever lived in Israel? It says right now there's 10 million people in
Can
Israel.
I have a concession on that point? that it's
What's the
not
concession?
necessary to establish an ethno-state.
Are you? I mean, it's not like absolutely necessary if you'd find
Thank
a
you for
way
the
to
concession,
relocate.
everybody. Watch that. Boom. His whole argument was it is
No, that's
absolutely
not what.
necessary for an ethno-state to exist, for
Yes,
people who are
no, but
Jewish to have security
in
around.
reality, of
Please be
course. But
quiet. Let
you're
me finish.
what?
Yeah, your argument was that the justification for the state of Israel existing in terms of an ethno-state is literally the fact that there is no other place they could go to that would have been safe for them. That is the whole argument you've been making this entire time. I just want to clarify. So the fact
Yes,
that you just conceded there
back
are other
then.
areas that Jewish people can go to that they would be safe in,
Of
then
course,
concedes the
you're
point that it's not necessary to establish an ethno-state.
okay. But what are you gonna? You realize how many people have ever lived in Israel, right? There's been
Oh my
hundreds of
God.
millions of people probably in Israel ever, right?
Right? What
Right
is
now,
the
there's
population
about
of
10
Israel?
right now 10 million, 7.7 million in Jews, and you could just do the math of how much it's been around for, like, what, 60 years something. People have
Yeah,
reproduced
that
whatever.
math is not good.
What?
That
It
math
says
is
77.
atrocious.
It's no, all right, fine. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but right now there's 7.7 million people reproduce whatever. So there's a lot of Jewish people who have ever lived in Israel, right? You're saying that it shouldn't exist because you can relocate them to the safe parts, which are
Not what I'm
mostly,
arguing. Holy shit. This is
what are you arguing?
I never even claimed anything about relocation. I
Okay,
claim
well, then what'd you
specifically
say?
that ethno-states shouldn't exist.
I get that, but then you said, "Oh my God, you conceded that Israel doesn't have to exist because there are some safe spots for Jews." So then, where are those safe spots?
Yeah,
Explain to me
because
that.
your whole argument here is that I'm anti-Semitic because I think that ethno-states shouldn't exist. So I'm
No,
essentially
yeah,
trying to
because
get you
Israel
to
shouldn't
concede
exist.
that you think ethno-states shouldn't exist.
Yes, and I think they're not obviously like nothing is 100% necessary. In a perfect world, there would be safe spots in America and other countries around the world that save for Jewish people, so you wouldn't need an ethno state to exist. But unfortunately, that isn't the reality of the country of the world because people are just not nice. So I don't know. You can't prove me wrong on that. I
People
don't
are
think
just
so.
not nice, which means there needs to be an ethno-state within Israel. That's your argument.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's exactly true. What do you?
I don't
What's so
accept
funny
that as
about
an
that?
argument. I don't accept there being not nice people in the world as an
So
argument to
do you
establish an
acknowledge that
ethno-state.
anti-Semitism isn't nice? Do you acknowledge that anti-Semitism isn't nice?
Of course.
Okay, so then people are
Do we agree on
anti-Semitic, so
what
then people aren't
anti-Semitism
nice.
is? No. You think I'm anti-Semitic.
I think anti-Semitism is the discrimination against Jewish people, and you're discriminating against them because you're
How?
saying they don't deserve self-determination.
And I'm saying that there doesn't deserve to be an ethno-state. How is that
Yeah,
discriminating against
self-determination.
So listen,
Self-determination.
how is
Because
it?
without the ethno state,
How
there'd be
am
no
I? Please
self-determination.
let me finish speaking.
I
How
was
is
speaking.
it discrimination against Jewish people for me to literally
What is
say,
wrong with being a Zionist? What are these people in the comments saying?
if you can't shut the up and let me speak, I'm going to kick you. Genuinely, shut the up and listen. Okay? It is not anti-Semitic for me to say that you can't have an ethno-state. If I have to keep explaining to you to this, I'm going to kick you. This is a waste of my time.
Why?
Okay? Because you are stupid. If you actually legitimately believe... No, go yourself. You think I'm anti-Semitic simply for just saying that an ethno-state shouldn't exist and for saying that you're a up individual for saying that. Okay?
But yeah,
that is so ridiculous.
When did I ever call you up? I just said you were
I
anti-Semitic.
called you up.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's up to believe in ethno-states. I think that's up. Now, this doesn't make me an anti-Semitic person because I think an ethno-state shouldn't exist.
Yeah, because then you're discriminating against Jewish people.
How is that discriminating against Jewish
I
people?
just explained.
You're
because
literally
you s-
arguing for the discrimination against other
Oh my
people
God.
and the supremacy of Jewish people within the context of
Why
a
are you
state. And
crashing
you're
out?
arguing that's me being against that is discrimination against Jewish people on my
Discrimination
behalf?
against the self-determination of Jewish people. They deserve
How?
self-determination.
You can have self-determination without establishing a Jewish ethno-state.
No, because they're not the majority in any other state, so they wouldn't have self-determination.
Wait. So do Jewish people have self-determination in America?
What is the definition of self-determination?
That's what actually you need to define right now. Define, because I'm not sure what you mean when you say that. Because this is your own definition. I need to be clear on what you're saying. What is
To
self-determination
make choices
to
for
you?
yourself and take control of your own life without outside pressure. That's what it says.
You can do that in America, right?
Without outside pressure, I'm not sure.
I'm just kicking you. You're such a waste of time to talk to. Like,
Why?
genuinely. You don't think you can live in America? Are you serious, dude?
No, you can live in America, but you still haven't debunked why that's not a good reason.
Okay,
to
so
support
you
Trump.
agree you can
just
live in
started getting
America?
mad. Of course, you can live in America. It's probably
So why were you not... Okay, so you do have self-determination here.
yeah, but you wouldn't have self-determination in any of the other Middle
So
Eastern Muslim
can
countries.
I have a concession? You do have self-determination here, correct?
Yes.
So you can have self-determination in a state in which is not a Jewish ethno-state. Do you agree?
Yes, but
So
it's
how
not
is
possible
me being against a Jewish ethnostate me being against Jewish self-determination?
because you can't realistically
Am I against
relocate
your
all the
self-determination?
what?
Am I against your self-determination?
No, let me
So
explain. You can't realistically relocate all the people in Israel to America. That's not how it
that's not
works.
what I
And you,
said. Never
okay,
argued that once.
okay, I got it. But then you're still not debunking why the state of Israel shouldn't exist, and I still
It
haven't
shouldn't
done that.
exist as an ethno-state. That's what I'm saying. Do you not hear
Okay,
my
but I've
arguments?
already can I explain to you? I already explained to you that if it wasn't an ethno state, everyone, all the Jews would be in hell. How do you not understand that? It's not that difficult to understand, and you're just shaking your head and acting like you're right. You're not.
All the
What?
Jews would be in hell if it is the case that there wasn't an
They are
ethno-state.
surrounded by
No.
Muslims that want them dead. What?
Okay, so you just want to fearmonger against people who are Muslim.
Because no,
Again, wait,
because
no, hold
the
your argument.
Iranian, the
Your
Iranian,
argument. So
the Iranian leader has said denied.
you know that Iran didn't start this war; that it was the U.S. and Israel, right?
I know, but the Iranian leader
So
has
can you explain
denied the
to me?
existence of the
Can you
Holocaust. So
explain
how
to
is
me?
he not?
Holy shit, dude! Oh my
I'm just
god!
what?
What what is the relevance? I disagree. I think it's
Because
horrible
I'm
that they
trying to
think
prove
that.
to you that the people surrounding Israel hate the Jews. Most the leaders,
Does
at
that then
least.
does that then justify, right, a Jewish ethno state? No, it does not, because you can have
Because if it wasn't
self-determined.
an ethno state,
Wait,
they
let me
would
just clarify.
die.
Let me just clarify. Okay, because you're trying to call me anti-Semitic for this. Let me go through the argument. I want you to fully actually listen. You said I'm against Jewish self-determination, correct? That's what you said. That's what you
You're
said.
discriminating against the self-determination that Jewish people have in it.
Can you answer my questions directly?
Did you just mute me again? I just unmuted
Yes.
myself.
If you won't answer my questions, I will mute you until
But
you
I
answer
am.
them.
I'm just. Wait, what did
So
you say?
what is the answer to my question?
Can you repeat your question?
Are you serious?
What?
You didn't listen?
No, I did. It was something about. Oh, am I? Wait, can you repeat it? Because I was answering and then you lost my train of thought.
You said that I am against Jewish self-determination, correct?
Yes, in Israel. Yes.
Okay. So, do you think that the right to self-determination is the same as a right to own an ethno-state? Or do you think that those things are two separate things?
Do you acknowledge that people in Israel have self-determination more than pretty much any other country for Jewish people?
No.
How?
I see no reason to distinct that from the U.S. So, I would like to hear an actual argument.
Okay, other than the U.S. and Israel, any other countries
Oh, there's plenty of other countries I could say that's applicable in. Bunch of
that they
European
have
countries as
more
well.
self-determination in those countries than Israel? How does that make
Well, I
sense?
mean, I have no argument to say that it's worse off in those countries comparative to Israel.
Yeah, but you don't have any to say it's better. So like it's
Okay,
pretty.
but
It's easier.
so then it's indifferent until I have an argument to say one way or the other.
Okay, but then we're not getting
So,
anywhere.
what is the
So
question that I asked you?
you asked me. Can you repeat it? Forget.
Holy shit. Okay, stop
You just-
asking me. How about this? Stop asking me questions. Answer mine only. Okay, is that? Can we do
But
that
I
for
wanna
now?
also
So that
ask
we can
you,
just
'cause
get
it's a
through this
debate.
point.
It's a debate.
Sir, can we do that so we can get through this point?
Yeah.
Okay. You think that I believe that Jewish people should not have the right to self-determination, correct?
No. Why no? I think you're against self-determination in Israel, but not in America, and not in other countries because they do have self-determination in other countries. But
so then
my
I'm
point was
not
in Israel,
anti-Semitic.
it's strong. No, no, in Israel, it's strong, pretty much strongest, or one of the strongest for
So
self-determination.
I'm not anti-Semitic.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're like fully anti-Semitic, but that you're leading down a path.
So
of
I'm just
anti-Semitism.
partially anti-Semitic.
You can be partially anti-Semitic. You're
Okay.
down a path
How
of
am I partially
anti-Semitism.
anti-Semitic?
Because you're discriminating against the self-determination of Jews in Israel. That's
How?
partially anti-Semitic. Because you don't believe in the state of Israel, and then if there wasn't the state of Israel, then they wouldn't have self-determination there because it's the Middle East and there's Muslims and they wouldn't have anything.
Can a country of Israel exist without being an ethno-state?
I've already answered the question. It wouldn't be the same state because the Middle Easterns around there are Muslim, and especially in higher up Muslim,
Why can't you prevent harm against Jewish people if it's not an ethno-state? Like, you can still have
they would be
legal
outnumbered.
systems.
The police
You
would be
can still have
Muslim
legal
too.
systems to prevent this. You can still have a military that would exist there that can protect people and defend people in situations in which they'd be attacked. You can have all of that even without there being an ethno-state. Your argument is not necessitating an ethno-state. It's simply just a distraction from the idea that it's immoral to have an ethno-state, and you're trying to use that distraction in order to try to justify, right, your argument for why you think that it's justified for there to be an ethno-state, and why you think it's actually fucking anti-Semitic for me to just disagree with that existence of an ethno-state.
Do you not understand how do you disagree with the fact that if there wasn't an ethno-state, then the Middle Easterns around there would be Muslim and they would come into Israel and they would not like the Jews? Do you agree with that?
No.
How? Well, if no one in the chat or anything can see how this is just ridiculous, like how? What? The Muslims come into Israel and they don't like the Jews. How do you disagree with that? What?
You can prevent individuals from coming into the country, given that they have those particular bigoted views, without
How would you
actually
ever be able to tell
preventing,
that?
without actually having an ethno state. Did you know that? Did you know
How
that
would you
there are
ever be able
people
to
who
do
are?
that?
Did you know that there are people who are Muslim and there are people who are Arab that aren't anti-Semitic?
No, I don't deny that, but a lot of the higher up leaders in these countries, like
Okay,
Iran, who
so
denied
then
the
let me
existence of the
clarify.
and who was
Is it
openly
possible for you
anti-Semitic.
to establish a process of immigration that would include a vetting process that prevents individuals from coming to the country if they want to go and murder Jewish people?
Yes, now if that could
Okay,
happen,
so
I would
if you
100%
have some
accept
sort of
that.
prevention mechanism within that
Now we're getting
context,
somewhere. See,
if you have
we
some
should be
sort of
like
prevention
leaders.
mechanism within that context, then how could you say that you need an ethno state?
Because in reality, that's not going to happen.
So
It
you're
would
saying the state of Israel couldn't establish a law like that?
it would be very difficult to because
Why?
they would
Why
just be
so?
outnumbered.
What do you mean
They would just be
outnumbered by
outnumbered.
within their own government?
Yeah, because just imagine how many Muslims are surrounding
No,
them,
no,
and
no. We're
imagine how
talking
many
about
there are.
within the Israeli government right now.
Okay.
You don't think you could get most of the Israeli government to support this?
So how would you suspect that they would be able to screen if they hate Jews? Like what? I don't get that. I
Don't they
don't get how
already do
you.
that for people who come into the country?
I have no idea, but I don't know how that would be like how they would do that. Like how do you actually do that? You can't screen for like someone's beliefs. You can just put on a fake face when you're doing the interview or whatever, and you just get in the country and then you go kill the Jews. It's not that difficult to do.
Okay, so then you're saying that Israel should have zero immigration and zero tourism.
No, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, right now, like you can visit the country if you're like
So that's
not
two.
like
So then couldn't people visit and then
no,
just
you can have
unalive Jewish
tourism.
people?
Sure. You can have tourism.
Couldn't people
There
just
already is
visit and then
tourism in
unalive?
Israel.
Couldn't people just visit and then unalive Jewish people?
Yes, but again, if you're letting people into the country to live versus tourist is a big difference.
How so?
That's like saying, oh, letting everyone into the country through
How
immigration in
so? How
America
so?
versus letting
Wait,
people
actually, like
visit the
how
country.
so?
Because when you visit the country, usually you aren't like armed off the bat because you have to travel there and you have to go through screening and stuff. So when you come in, you're not going to be armed. You're not going to have anything that could hurt Jewish people. And then once you're there, sure, if you're really, really evil, then you can get something and kill a Jewish person. But that's the exact same thing in any
So
country with any
I don't see
tourism.
how like you preventing people from immigrating to Israel who are not Jewish is somehow going to prevent, right, the protection of Jewish people in the area.
Well, because if you're not Jewish around there, then you're Muslim, and the Muslims have a much
Not
higher
true. You
percentage
could
of
be
hating
you could be
Jews.
Christian or you could
Okay,
be
but
atheist or
more
agnostic.
likely than not, you're Muslim, and if you're Muslim, then there's a higher chance you hate the Jews than a Jewish person. That's
Okay,
normal
I'm
logic
just
and basic
I
logic.
don't think this is a good conversation. I think you're a waste of time to talk to, right? You haven't brought up a
That's not
single thing
nice.
that is actually like beneficial to this
You,
country,
Parker,
right? In
I
terms
came
of
on
like,
your
can you just be
live.
quiet for a second,
Okay.
please? You haven't brought up a single thing that would be beneficial to this country. You didn't talk about any of the policies. We've spent the last 50 minutes or so right now talking about a foreign country and about how you think I'm anti-Semitic for disagreeing with an ethno-state existing, right? And how I think that we shouldn't be involved with funding a foreign country's forever wars so that they can continue to do whatever incursion they have in the Middle East so that they can annex other areas, right, in that particular region. It's a waste of my time to talk about. This does not
Parker,
make you, as a Jewish American, safer in this country to defend whatever the state of Israel is doing. It, actively speaking, makes
I never
Jewish
defended
Americans
that.
less safe in this country to support all the actions of the state of Israel. And the U.S. divesting from Israel would be the best possible thing for Jewish Americans in this country. Have a good day.